Okay, there goes the... If I'd have knew you needed help there, I'd have got that. So, anyways, this morning I woke up and I turn on my news channel. I don't generally watch the news on the boob tube. I just go to the computer. I look at the things that I'd like to see. CNN is just, oh my God, the Communist News Network or the Clinton News Network or whatever else you want to call it. They're just incorrect news network or just plain fake news. But I do watch OAN and I do watch the Fox News channel. Okay, so I'm sure there's a lot of liberals out there that watch this channel and think, oh my God, you're listening to the Fox propaganda. I have found that OAN and Fox News have the most accurate reporting. They kind of do. I mean, I've watched CNN, I've watched MSNBC, I've watched NBC, CBS. They all report that Donald Trump was colluding with the Russians. It's lie after lie after lie after lie after lie. And then the Mueller was the savior of the Democrat Party. And when Mueller comes out and says, well, here it is, no collusion. Okay, no collusion. Exoneration? He didn't exonerate him. By law, he can't. That's why he wrote in there, this does not exonerate or, convict the president of any collusion with the Russians. That is Attorney Bill Barr's job. That's his job. That's what he was put into that position for. Now, up until a few weeks ago, Barr was a fair and just appointee to his job. Attorney General, AG Bill Barr. He was a good guy. Same thing with Mueller in the eyes of the Democrats. Well, last night it comes out that he's going to actually do his job. And he's going to investigate where this Pfizer report and this all the dossier, who paid for it and all that stuff, the Clinton emails. And I woke up this morning and I thought I heard this really weird noise. Like there was, 10,000 dogs shitting razor blades to my south. That's what it sounded like. And I believe those are the screams of the Democrats. So I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Because, how could this possibly happen? How can we throw stones at a glass house, break all its windows out without some form of retaliation? I mean, this is how stupid these people are. If they would have just let sleeping dogs lie, they probably would have it just would have went unnoticed. But no, they had to push for 2 freaking years on Donald Trump's a liar. Donald Trump, well, okay, of course he tells fibs or maybe half-truths or maybe he's uninformed when he opens his mouth. Yes, I think the president does have diarrhea to the mouth. I really do. I think he has good intentions with his diarrhea to the mouth, but he's not a dumb man. He really, truly isn't, and that's what his cabinet is for. I can go out and say I'm going to plant 200 acres of corn and have all good intentions, but my cabinet, my father, my children, my instincts all tell me, hey, you know what? If you put that corn in the ground, it's going to rot. And lo and behold, I'm sending the corn back. So Donald Trump says something like, we'll just shoot all the illegals at the border, which he didn't say. But if he did say that, his cabinet would say, hey, Donald, you really can't shoot all the illegals crossing the border. As much fun as that may be, and I'm really getting tired, freedom, baby, freedom! So, anyway, I hate being choked up. It's 46 degrees outside, by the way. That's why I have this sweatshirt on. Yep, brand new FS Growmark sweatshirt. Now I have some breathing room. Anyway, the beauty of this is that for the first 2 years of the presidency, the Democrats have been spewing lies. Then it comes back that they were lying, and then it's like, okay, fine, there was no collusion, but you obstructed justice. Okay. All right. So how can you obstruct justice when there was no crime being committed in the first place? And the crime was a lie started by a liar, a known liar, which was recorded that it was a lie before it was ever brought to the FISA court, and it's still a lie. And now they say that there's obstruction of justice when there was no law broken to begin with. So anyways, this thing's still going on, and now Mueller's an asshole in the eyes of the Democrats. Barr is unqualified now. He's just a right-wing nut job, according to the Democrats. And, okay, so they spent the first 2 years of this presidency attacking. There's no credibility in the Democrat Party. There's no credibility to any of these news agencies. There's no credibility to anybody that stood up and said Donald Trump is going to be impeached. Impeached for what? I would like to know what you can impeach the man for. He's broken no laws. Yeah, he said stuff that his cabinet said pulled him back from doing. You can't do that. So you can't impeach somebody who hasn't broke laws. We did impeach somebody, but we didn't remove him from office for 11 felonies. That was the redacted report was hidden from the public view by the Democrats. Kenneth Starr's report was, I remember, I was alive and well I was an adult at the time when all this crap happened, and there were laws passed by Nadler to keep this redacted report out of the hands of Congress. And now he's trying to go back on the law that he helped implement to protect a president from these felony charges. Even though there's no felony charges there, the redacted report protects grand jury testimony and other private citizens, that their testimonies, and that is why it is so important that this redacted report stay right where it is, and it should have never been able to be out in the public's eye anyway, because there are innocent people that were brought into an argument, and maybe there's some sensitive people, persons, characters in this report that could very well be hurt by this public display being, what they want in the House of Representatives, or the Democrat-controlled House of Representatives. They want to go back on the laws, and the rule of law in the United States is what is supposed to be. We are a nation of laws. You cannot pick and choose which laws you want to enforce. It is either all enforced or none enforced. You either have law and order, or you have anarchy and chaos. Those are your two choices. I prefer law and order. I prefer less laws on the books to restrict us, but I do respect laws that are on the books. I do, for the most part. We all try to get away with everything. We wouldn't be human beings if we didn't, but there are laws that are ridiculous. And if I get busted breaking a law, which I don't think I'm breaking any laws at the moment, free speech maybe? No, I have the right to say this stuff now, whether gobble in my balls or gurgle my balls or whatever you want to call them decides to pull this off of the interwebs. Well, it is a private company, and they do have the right, even though it's publicly traded, it is a private entity, and they do have the right to do that because it is what it is. It's theirs. I am a guest in their server. Thank you very much, my love, for this beautiful sandwich. It's going to clog my arteries and stop my heart. She does such an awesome job. Anyway, so this is what's happening. This is what's happening. So now Attorney General Bill Barr is actually going to start the investigations into the FISA court, the abuses in the FISA court, the false dossier, who paid for it, who did all this happy horse shit to get to where they are today with a lie that they knew was a lie. This was the amazing part of it. They knew it was a lie. They propagated the lie. They never expected Attorney General Bill Barr to actually turn it on them and go back into the Democrat Party, which, in my opinion, strategically for the Republican Party, or any independents or libertarians or just Americans in general, this is a very good thing to happen because it shows, and I have been very disappointed for many, many years as to how this goes down. What difference does it make when 4 Americans died in Benghazi? What do you mean what difference does it make? We know now that there was help available. It was 2 blocks away. All they would have had to do was say, go get them. And they would have went and got them. Unchain the dogs of war, man. Let them have at it. Stop these 4 Americans from dying. Or did they want them to die? You have Hillary Clinton. You have Obama, illegal Obamacare. It was illegal. It was illegal. And yet, because the Supreme Court was predominantly Democrat appointees, they upheld the law that forced us to have shitty health care. Expensive, shitty health care. I cannot afford the health care. The way the laws are written and the rules are written, it would cost me, a healthy 46-year-old man, just myself, $18,600 a year for health care. I have not in my entire life spent $18,600 in health care ever in my entire life. Having children, none of it. Okay. Well, that being said, it was illegal to begin with. So it just doesn't, you can't do this stuff and get away with it forever and ever and ever. Eventually, it's going to come back on you. So here we go. Now that this investigation is happening, of course, every news network that isn't middle of the road or leans a little to the right, which is very few because, we're supposed to get abused. The conservatives of the country are supposed to just get abused and take the abuse and not be able to defend ourselves. Well, and I've always been disappointed that why aren't they standing up for the conservative American? Why is it that these liberal lefties are allowing everything to happen that shouldn't be happening and get away with it when we have people that haven't done anything that are being prosecuted and persecuted and just brought down by false stuff that never even happened and get away with it? I mean, how does this work? So finally, I think the conservatives in the country are actually walking around with a little bit of a smile on your face. But honestly, and in all honesty, be careful. Because we saw what happened when Donald Trump was elected. They don't want a businessman elected in there. They want their own boys and girls elected in there. The Antifa movement, that was supposed to be a peaceful thing. No, they're anarchists. They're anarchists. They are violent. They don't want anybody to share another view other than theirs. They will attack you violently. If you're wearing a MAGA hat, a Make America Great Again hat, then you are a target to them. And their justification is that we're a target by them, so we attack them first so that we don't get attacked. That just doesn't make any sense. And I watched the leader of Antifa on national television, and he was on Tucker Carlson, of course. Now, Tucker Carlson is a bit of an inflammatory person, but he was interviewing this guy, and the guy said this. The leader, he's a professor at a college, and he teaches people, young people, these wild, weird, anarchist ways because they don't like the way conservatism is. So, yeah, let's watch. Let's see what happens in the next few months, or let's say 2 years. It took the Democrats 2 years of slander against the president, and his family, and everybody involved, and my hat's off to them. he took it in stride. I mean, this guy's used to it, though. That's the amazing thing. Being in a businessman of his caliber, he's used to being slandered and put down. And I mean, I watched him in the 1980s over the Trump Towers and his first wife, the divorce, which was very public, and he made it through that. He didn't commit suicide, and he's still successful. I love when people talk about their tax returns. Well, he lost billions of dollars in his tax returns. Yeah, he probably did on paper, but I don't think so. His assets, far exceeded that. You don't lose $20 billion and keep $40 billion worth of assets. It just becomes, it's a tax loopholes. They're legal, and that's how he does it. Like any pieces of equipment that I purchase, of course, they're expensed, and you can make $1 million in a year, but expense $995,000 of it, and you only made $5,000, and boom, there you go. That's how this works. But anyway, that's just the way it is. And money is just numbers anymore. As long as they're pluses and not negatives, you're in good shape. So let's see what happens with these new investigations. I think 2 years of investigating a false claim was excessive. They didn't find anything. I'm sure they know what color underwear Donald Trump wears. I'm sure they know, a lot of things about him and the people around him that nobody in the public eye should know. My whole thing with the Trumpster was anything before the announcement of running for president. I think it was 2015 he announced. I don't care about. I don't give a shit if he took on the whole porn industry and fucked them all. It doesn't mean anything to me. Now, when he says I'm running for president, that's when you need to run the straight and narrow. His tax returns, if there was anything wrong with his tax returns, I'm pretty sure the IRS would have had his ass in jail by now, long before he ever said, I'm going to become president of the United States. So, who gives a shit what's in his tax returns? I don't care. It's none of their business. None of my business. It'd be like if I ran for the town mayor, which at some point I may do. I think it would be fun to kind of keep the straight and narrow in the town. And I may do it at some point. Not today, not tomorrow, maybe not even next year. But I like the idea because I think I can contribute a lot to my community. By running for the mayor of this town, should I have to hold up my tax returns and say, hey, this is why I'm qualified? No, not at all. I mean, you know everything about me on these channels anyway, so anybody that doesn't like me, please vote no. Please unsubscribe. Please don't watch my shit. I don't want you here anyway. If you don't like what I'm doing, don't put yourself through the pains of listening to me talk. It's not... I don't care about viewer counts. I don't care about subscribers. I really don't care. I have something to say, and this is my outlet. And I'm going to finish up my political moment here with the first 2 years of a presidency. They can badger and badger and badger, come up with nothing in the middle of the road. Nothing. We have nothing. It's a nothing burger with liberal cries. That's all it was. And it looks bad on the Democrat Party. Now, the Republicans, by picking up the torch and saying, okay, now it's your turn. And we get to do it for the next... And I'm tired of investigations. I really am. I've been tired of the investigations. I knew after the first 6 months that Mueller didn't come up with anything in the first 6 months, that he would have to look long and hard at anything that Donald Trump has ever done in his entire life and try to find something, whether he cheated the Mrs. Johnson on his paper route 25 cents back in 1954. I mean, come on. They would have to know that he did that through 2 years of investigation and millions and millions and millions of dollars, somewhere between $25 and $45 million wasted on a lie. I think we need to send Hillary Clinton that bill. We really do need to send Hillary Clinton that bill because she's the one that started the whole thing to stop Donald Trump from being the president of the United States. She's a failure. She's always been a failure. She will always be a failure. She's never been she got elected into the New York State Senate as a senator from New York State, which I prefer her over the Ocasio-Cortez, because that woman is just a harebrained moron that shouldn't even ever have gotten elected. But let's face it, the people in New York City nowadays are not the people that were in New York City 30 years ago. They've moved away. They live here now. But whatever. So, for the next 2 years, we're going to watch the Democrats run the other way. They're going to be, this is wrong. You can't do this to us. We don't deserve this. How could this possibly be? And then we have the 2020 election. The 2020 election. Every single one of the people that are running against the President of the United States were, he's going to be impeached. He colluded with the Russians. He banged Stormy Daniels, even though that was proven wrong, and she had to pay him. There's just so many, every one of them. We've got Bernie Sanders. We got touchy-feely, creepy Joe Biden who's going to run. Anybody that votes for that old freaking weirdo is weird. What the hell is wrong with him? Never had any successes in his life other than Obama drug him up out of the trash can, as Donald Trump said. Drug him up out of the trash can and brought him along for 8 years of a failed presidency, if you ask me. It was a sham. We had more wars going on then than we do now. And it was just fighting, a losing battle. Why is it that when Donald Trump came into office, he drops one Moab and boom, ISIS is pretty much gone. The Taliban are not really a thing anymore. I say we give them 4 more years and we wipe out that kind of crap, bring our boys home, and make America great again. And hopefully, it just keeps rolling, that we keep winning instead of this 30 years of losing. I'm tired. I was tired of losing, Tired of feeling like, you know what? Our country's gone down the toilet. Build the wall. Stop this mass invasion from our laws that were put in place by Democrats to allow this to happen to us, and there's nothing we could do. I mean, we're talking, you come across the border, they hold these kids, and they're using kids, they're renting children, renting them to get them across the border with no proof to back up that this kid even belongs to Jorge and Juanita that just crossed a border saying, asylum, my country hates me. Who gives a fuck? We're not all born with a silver spoon in our mouths. There's poverty in the United States, probably more poverty in the United States than anybody has any idea because they just turn their head the other way. So for the next 2 years, they're going to be attacking the Democrats. They're going to be investigating, further diminishing the credibility of that party. And guess what? We get another 4 years with Donald Trump. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? I hope it's a good thing. I really do. It could be a bad thing. We don't know, but we'll see when we get there. But I know that the Democrats have put in all their chips in on Russia collusion, and every single one of them. And now Nancy Pelosi is pulling back a little bit. Hey, you left-wing guys, you leftists that are in here, you really need to just be quiet right now. Now is not the time. They got to wait till they get the Trumpster out of office and get a Democrat in office so that they can push their leftist agenda, the free-for-all, free everything, free college, free healthcare, free. Someone has to pay for that. And it's me, it's you that watches the conservative channels and things like that. So, boom. Done. We'll see what happens in the next 2 years. It's going to be a shit show for sure, and I'm sure the swamp monster is screaming like a dog shitting razor blades this morning. And that's just the facts about that. Now, on to agriculture. What's happening? I'm pulling my hair out, trying to get ready to go to North Carolina to bale this straw. If you watch the other channel, I got into the Krone baler and found some worn parts that needed to be replaced. The baler was supposed to go down today. It isn't making it there today. I have to shut my mouth now and get moving, but I've decided I'm not going to plant any corn. Just can't do it. Just no time. It's rained. We got 2.5 inches of rain. I have 6 days. What are we on the 14th? I got to be there on the 20th. To leave here on the 20th or the 21st in that area. If I don't have all my ducks in a row, I'm just going to postpone a couple of days. But I can't postpone too much because the wheat is going to be early this year. So I'm shooting for the 20th, maybe the latest the 23rd. I'll be down there getting ready, getting everything hooked up, greased. Everything's greased and ready to go anyway. But we're going to be doing this job. Got to do it, got to do it, got to do it. So anyway, with that being said, no corn. Going to go out and buy Kentucky 31. I'm going to spray Roundup on the ground that I killed once already, and then I'm going to turn Cody loose with the grain drill on the 65 acres of grass that I killed. It has enough fertilizer on it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the grass planted, then I'm going to, or maybe I'll just put the compost down first and then plant through the compost, because I got these piles of compost. I have no place to really go with it. What the hell am I supposed to do? The tractor with the loader is going to North Carolina. The 8530 that pulls that spreader is going to North Carolina. The 7810 that runs the sprayer is going to North Carolina. The 7530 is going to North Carolina. So everything's going. Everything's going. The only thing that's going to be left up here is the 4960, the 4450, the 4320, the 4230, the 5020. Those tractors will be here to do the hay that needs to be done while I am away. So that's what's happening here. Agricultural goods are taking a hit because of the tariffs from China, but China still has to buy these crops. There's another secret about China that I know about because I went away, and when I was on the airplane, they were talking about how China is killing off all its hogs. They have like swine flu bad in there, and they're having problems. If you've been to China or any of these Southeast Asian countries, you're going to know that China is in a crisis with their hogs. So anybody that's raising pork here in the United States, you're going to see an increase in your revenue because China is going to need to buy meat. They need to buy that pork because their people love pork and chicken. They're not a big turkey eating country, but pork and chicken. And the grain prices are probably going to creep up a little bit more after it bottoms out, a little bit. It's going to go down a little bit more. Unfortunately, I won't be able to do the corn. I'm going to plant some sweet corn now. I just got to do that. But anyways, with that being said, I think I'm going to eat my cold-ass sandwich now and sign off now. Thanks for putting up with the political stuff on this channel. You don't have to really care about it. But it is what it is, and I'm glad that it's turning around on the people that have been abusing the system for so long. And I think they felt that they had some kind of an immunity idol around their neck. If you watch the whatever Survivor show, which I haven't watched in many years, but I think the Democrats have thought that they've had an immunity idol, that they will be unstoppable. The big, what do they call that? The blue wave that was more like a blue swell. Nothing big. They did win the House. It didn't win the Senate. And I think they're just going to lose the House again this next election cycle because there's too much insanity on there. Too much insanity. And it isn't the Republicans that are going to boot them out. It's going to be the independents, the libertarians, the people that want the constitutionalists, the people that want the Constitution of the United States upheld for all its worth and value. I saw a cartoon the other day with Nadler shooting a bazooka at Bill Barr, and Bill Barr was like this. He says, "You missed," and there was a big hole in the Constitution. The Democrats want to destroy the Constitution of the United States. They really do. They want to start with the Electoral College. That's where they want to start. And once they start with the Electoral College, they will gain momentum and continue to dismantle the Constitution of the United States and the Bill of Rights. And, the Bill of Rights and the amendments to the Constitution of the United States, they will dismantle it to the point where we won't be able to have guns, and that's when the fight starts. And it's going to be ugly and brutal, and keep buying ammunition, because when these reports and Hillary Clinton's gone with her hands cuffed behind her back, along with Bill Nadler and all these other people that want to break the law and get away with it, they're all going to jail. There's going to be uprisings in the cities, and they're going to want to abuse the countrymen. And my cheese has not slid off my cracker. It may not happen. It may not happen. It may just be another nothing burger that is designed to get Donald Trump reelected. I don't know. But the way it looks to me, it looks like there's going to be a major shitstorm south of me in Washington, D.C. So have a nice night, day, morning, whatever it is, wherever it is, and however it is. If you're trying to plant crops, it's raining. It's still raining. Going to rain for the next 2 days. That's why I'm putting the corn away. Thanks for watching.